I have so much reading to catch you up on, so welcome to another reading vlog. Let's take a road trip to Jacksonville. Is this the second rental that I've had for the day? Yes. What happened with the first one? All the lights came on by the time I left the lot. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. Anyway, got another rental, went to the gas station, decided that yes, I am going to get into audiobooks. I ended up getting the 30-day trial with Scribd. It looks like it should be pronounced Scribe, but anyway, it doesn't matter. At the hotel, I continued to listen to Love Radio. And I chose this particular book to listen to because I do have the physical copy and I wanted to read it, but I kept holding off because I had all of these other books that I kept putting ahead of Love Radio. And I think I read it in the time that I was supposed to read it. It was really good. There is something a little bit ridiculous about the fact that here I am struggling and procrastinating to do my hair. Meanwhile, Prince is in Love Radio helping Danny take her braids out. I just feel like, is this fair? Where is the fairness? Where is the justice? Shoulders on fire, and I have to deal with just cuteness and thoughtfulness, just patience and kindness and understanding in these high school kids in this book. Like, please don't annoy me right now.
Prince hands the money over to Miss Waters.
It's a video. Okay, we gotta go. One of my dance team sisters is getting married. This is Haley, one of my little dance team sisters. So we are in Jacksonville for the wedding. The weather was beautiful. The bride was beautiful. The atmosphere was nice. It was like a college reunion. So now I'm back home and my art has been here for a couple of weeks, maybe a month. I'm ready to show you what it is. This is the art that's going to be downstairs in the living room. I need to get custom frames for it, but for now, I just need to finally open this before I can't return them if something is wrong.
Pull me closer, give me that diagnosis. All that mind like explosions. Just one touch leaves me helpless. On repeat like it's endless.
Oh, it is beautiful. Oh, wow. Exactly what I thought it would be. Look at this. So nice. And it's signed on the back. Can you see that? I don't think you can see it, but it's signed on the back. Oh, this is so nice. Ah, and this one is signed too. I love it. Oh, they look perfect. Good evening. I decided last minute, when I say last minute, I mean after 6 p.m., that tomorrow I am going to meet up with some of my fellow alum. So I'm gonna be with my Rattlers tomorrow, and my plan of having a readathon has now turned into a regular chaotic reading vlog. It is 10:30 on the dot, and I want to talk about the books that we are going to get into in this video, one of which I am more than 75% of the way, and that is One Ain't Enough by Mo Flames. I met this author a few weeks ago. I think it's safe to say a couple months ago at this point. I met her at an event when I went to go support Kay. Talked to the author for a little bit. She told me about her book. She actually gifted me this book and autographed it. So I have a signed copy. This is my first signed copy of any of the works that I own. I told myself that I don't want a signed copy unless I get to meet the author and they sign it in my presence, or the author is one that I enjoy but they are no longer with us. Those would be my only reasons why I would want a signed copy. Now, this is Mess and Stress. mess and stress, okay? We have a lot of characters and they all have a lot going on. Yes, I did create this because I feel like people need to see it. Those that are planning on reading it, you need to be aware that there are a lot of webs and there are a lot of lies. So with that, I am this far into the book. I have this much left. And while I was reading, I was getting messages back while I was reading about like, don't think about going tomorrow, you should just go. If I'm going to be out day tomorrow, I need to clean out my cooler. I need to make sure that my hair is done. I need to make sure I have sunscreen. I need to make, you know what I mean? Because I'm gonna be outside and I don't like to be uncomfortable outside. So I need to make it an enjoyable experience. I'm tired of wearing this. I'm sure that you're tired of seeing this. And my hair is just twisted up under there, probably dry and everything. Anyway, that's not why you're here. But I said all that to say that's how the chaos will occur in this video. I'm rambling. Let's just get into how we're gonna flow with the reading. I'm going to finish this book. I'm on page 214. And without the excerpt of the next book, this book ends at 257. So I'm gonna read this. Then I did start it, and you might not be able to see the little clear tabs, but they are there. I started this yesterday when I got it. This is His Majesty by Sean. Sean is so cool. I bother her on TikTok every now and again. I really wanted physical copies of this series, and the other 3 books are on their way. They'll be here tomorrow evening, I believe. But this one is about 2 people, Majesty and Josiah. Josiah's nickname is Webb. Majesty sometimes goes by MJ or Madge, and I believe it's more of a second chance romance. He has a little bit of an edge to him, so I like that. And this one is less than 70 pages, I think. 57 pages. So this is next on my list. This is the next one I will complete. Then, if you have been on my TikTok, you've probably seen the Vegas Nights collection on my TikTok. If you've been there, it is 3 books in one. You can buy them separately, but for the sake of space and time, I figured I would just get the collection all in one. And I only have 1 more left to read. I already read Maybe Next Time, Maybe This Time, and the 3rd one is Maybe One More Time. So from what I've gathered and what I've read, the first one is more of I guess you could call it a second chance romance, even though the romance was never really gone, but we can call it a second chance romance. The next one is Maybe This Time. That one is more of friends to lovers. And the last one, I'm not really sure, because it sounds like in the other 2 books that the people in the 3rd book know each other, but I don't know if they're enemies to lovers or what, but I'm excited for it. So that is the 3rd one in this. Some of the tabs I need to finish. We have, finally, I'm gonna get into My Person by Gray Huffington. This book was my first purchase by this author, Gray Huffington, but this is not the first book that I'm reading from her. I got Luca after My Person, but I read Luca first. That was my intro to Gray Huffington, but this one, beautiful cover, can't wait. And then I'm 2 chapters in because I couldn't help myself, but here we have Revive Me Part 1. You know I read Restore Me. Revive Me has 3 parts, and there is a novella titled Again. This one is gonna take some time, so I have that at the bottom of my list, but I don't wanna take up any more time. I'm not a fast reader as it is, but I know that I am determined to get this completed. Here is the stack. Pretty decent looking stack, pretty decent. I'm gonna set a timer. I'm gonna check back in with you in an hour, And I really want to perm rod my hair. I don't know if that's going to be a good idea for the weather tomorrow, but we'll see because my hair needs to be washed. Anyway, you're not here for that. Your happiness means more than anything to me. Sir, this lady is not your wife. What are we saying right now? I'm the happiest woman on earth. Urgent message. You need to call me as soon as you get this message. Oh, really? Are you sure? Sure of what? Ooh, you are in trouble. Stop lying. The fact that this man said, wait a minute, who are you yelling at? Don't raise your voice at me. I wish it would have said at me, but it's to me. Anyway, you know what? No. 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 Really? Really? I'm thinking back. Is that who that is? Huh. Okay. Okay. I wasn't expecting that. Well, I mean, I finished it. It is 12:07. Brought His Majesty down. 10 chapters under 60 pages. It's Carter with the fan.
It's hot. These new kids don't know how to be outside.
Be Out Day was great. I got to see my friends. It rained out. On a friend's date with Lisa, I got Ace of Spades. The problem is that we are getting a little bit too out of control with sticker placement, and now I'm stuck with gobbledygook on the front of this beautiful cover. Look at it. Sticky, disgusting, gross, nasty. Why? Why would you put it directly on the front of the book? I know you, as the person that is the sticker placement person, you don't care, but we need to either put the stickers down or make them smaller or do an embossing on the back, because we genuinely do not care about the back as much as the front. But yet we are still haunted by these big gaudy stickers on the front. Anyway, I found Goo Gone in Marshall's in the cash wrap, and I was like, I've seen videos about Goo Gone and it seems to work. I'm going to try it. Do I know what I'm doing? No. Did I read the directions? Yes. Do I still feel like I don't know what I'm doing? Yes. Am I concerned that this product might do something to this beautiful cover? Yes. Do I wish I didn't even pick this book up at that bookstore? Yes. Could I have purchased this book somewhere else? Yes, but caught up in the friend date and in the moment of just being in the bookstore, I was caught up in the moment, you know? It's the fact that I'm looking like this is the end all be all, like I'm doing open heart surgery. I can really relax. But anyway, it did end up working out. I just feel like we shouldn't have to go through all this to get a sticker off. Matter of fact, it shouldn't be on there at all. But here we are. We've reached the end. And I do have some other books that I can definitely use Goo Gone on, so I will. Good morning. Or is it afternoon now? Yeah. Good afternoon. It is after 12. I rolled around a little bit because let's go back a little. Be Out Day at Central Park for all of the Rattlers near and far. Some people did just come into town for Be Out Day, which is really nice. So Haley, who you might have seen if you saw my Instagram or my TikTok, but Haley came all the way from Cali to be with her Rattler family. I was in the heat yesterday and I didn't get to finish His Majesty, but when I got home, my intention was to finish it and then move on to the next thing. But when I got home, I thought things would go a little bit differently. When I was at Be Out Day, I got a text from Georgia Power saying that, oh, you know, there's been an outage in your area. I'm not surprised because when it's a really bad storm, more than likely we have power outages. I think our power lines are in the trees or something, I don't know. But we always get outages. Now, this one, I thought, oh, well, you know, I'm still out, so it's not affecting me as much as I thought it would. But when I got home, I tried to open the garage door and it didn't open, so that let me know, oh, we still have the outage. And our gate was already open, so that lets me know that they know that there is an outage, so it defaults to staying open. But my neighbors were all outside because they're trying to figure out how much longer. And when I got home, I just went inside the house, went in the garage, undid the latch, manually opened my garage, brought my car in, because I don't play with hail. And I feel like there's always hail somewhere. Took my shower, had a few pineapples, then I got into bed and I turned my fan on so that I would know when the power comes back on. So the power didn't come back on for 4 hours. From the 5 o'clock when I got the text and I wasn't home, and then after 9, that's when it came back. But I chose to just not even bother reading at that point. But when I got up, I finished it. Oh my goodness. Sean redeemed herself, okay? Because remember, I loved Untouchable, but with Untouchable, there were so many errors, grammatical errors, typos, spelling errors. It just needed another once over. And I feel like even though this is a novella, it had a lot. And without giving too much away, I feel like Majesty is a little bit of me. Like, no, I know that I love you and I know that we are really good together, but you know that something's missing, and I've tried to explain it to you, but you are not hearing what I'm saying. So, okay, I have to take matters into my own hands and I need to part ways with you because you're not getting it and I'm not being fulfilled in this relationship. So that's it. And Josiah is like, girl, you know I love you, obviously. I give you everything you don't want for anything. Like, you name it, you got it. Okay, well, I named something and I'm not getting it. And this is a big part of us going the distance and you're not hearing me. So it took a third party to tell him about himself for him to really snap out of his delusion that he knew what he was talking about. He knows exactly what she needs. She's just being dramatic. She's just being petty. She's just being extra. No, it took somebody else to say, hey, you're not listening. You know exactly what she wants. You just choose not to listen. This reminds me of another recent read that I had. In book 1 of this collection, Maybe Next Time, Denver does not listen. Denver and Webb, they're both in the same hard of hearing class. Both of them are not picking up what the ladies are putting down until they almost lose them all the way. And then they're like, okay, wait, you really leaving? Wait, you're leaving for real, but you're not going anywhere because I don't want you to go anywhere. I'm better with you than without you. I'm miserable without you. Like, I don't want you. I need you. Like, you are it for me. No one will ever compare. You are it for me. And I think that even though he has his rough and rugged ways of saying I love you to her, it was like, okay, yeah, we have this time apart, but I have eyes on her all the time. Like, I know exactly where she is. I know what she's doing. And it doesn't matter what she has going on. She's it for me. And I feel like if you know that, why does it take Belle, Biv, and DeVoe to get you to figure out what to do? I don't know. 5 out of 5. I had a great time reading this. I have to put in the tabs. I only have 1 tab in here. I tried to put the tab in when I was on the phone and I was like, I'm not paying attention. I'm not focused. I had a package come in with 3 other novellas, and of course, Midnight, Yours, and Cravings. Cravings is the thickest one at over 100 pages, 132. Yours is another thick one in comparison to the others. This one has 100 pages, and Midnight is book 2. Book 2 has 83 or 84. I think that was an acknowledgement, but I'm not gonna read it because I don't want to read too far ahead. I think I'm going to return this one. Let's talk about it for a moment. I begged Sean to have physical copies of this. And she let me know actually when they became available. And I was on a book buying ban at the time, and she was like, oh, there might not be any more signed copies. But as I've said in this video, and I think in my quarterly wrap up, that doesn't bother me. I've read the work so that I can also fully appreciate you putting your extra stamp on it in person or whatever the case. But I feel like that is another connection to the work that I would have that I wouldn't have if I would just buy it already signed and the person is very much alive. So yes, I have all of them. She let me know that they were available. She let me know that I missed out on the signed copies, but she doesn't know that I have them all. Not that she cares, like, who am I? But I am making an extended video showcasing all of these, kind of like a little mini vlog to show that I've read them, because I know that I talked about, okay, on a scale of 1 to when are we getting paperbacks? She was laughing and told me when. But yeah, I think here are my cons with these. I have another copy of this downstairs because the first one I got was off center and the front printed all crooked. The back is not centered. The back is not centered, but this seems to be ongoing. So something has to happen with the formatting. This one I think is the best one, but it's a little off center and I don't like that for her. I don't like that for her. I want them to fix it. Yeah, this irks me, but I'm going to keep them. I'm going to keep them because I don't have time to be going back and forth with Amazon and shipping. If the author hasn't corrected the formatting, then I'm just going to keep getting crooked prints. So I'm just going to keep these. If I do gift somebody something, then I'll gift them the bound one because I want it to be cleaner for them. But yeah, so I have all of them now. That's great because I like to read novellas in between full-length novels. It's definitely like a dessert, or in some cases an appetizer. Definitely a palate cleanser, so I am glad that I have them. But now that His Majesty is done, I'm going to move on to my person. I might not read all of this today. Oh, the spacing is... we're not taking up the whole page. Let me just show you this. So it doesn't take up the whole page. It doesn't even reach the margin. So this might not take too long. I think my goal will be, let me see, how many pages do we have? 153. Let's get to chapter 5. Chapter 5 is the 50-page mark, and I'm excited. It has been days. It has been days since I have caught you up on my reading, and here's why. The power went out again, and I was like, at this point, you don't want us to see anything in here without candlelight. That's what it is. But anyway, so I want to give you an update on what you've missed, which is quite a lot. I finished My Person by Gray Huffington. I gave it 5 out of 5. And even though some might say this should not even be a 5, it should be maybe a 4, I still gave it a 5 out of 5 for a few reasons. We know that Isaiah is someone who knows what they want. We know that he is a man about his business. He is not sugarcoating. He's not waiting around. This is what I have to offer. You want it or not. He's very thoughtful as well. I think that even though he will shower you with gifts and presents and all of the expensive things, he still thinks about who you are as a person before he acts on whatever the lavish thing is, because he wants to be thoughtful and intentional first. So I appreciate him for that. I definitely thought that he was in a safer profession, but we're here now. Oak towards the latter part of the book, she started upsetting me. And she was upsetting me because I too am an overthinker. But after we rationalize, after we put all the pieces to the puzzle together, we snap out of it. Days were going by, weeks were going by, and she was not snapping out of it. I'm not saying it should take maybe a weekend or two for you to be like, okay, this is where I'm at with it. But months? You were confused for months? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That man was basically begging you at one point. And you yourself said, hey, I know that what I heard and what I saw is not actually true to what I know this situation to be. So why are we still holding Isaiah to the fire? And I do believe that one of the things that was said in here was from his brother. His brother had some really good points talking about she's afraid. She's afraid of how things are moving so fast. She's afraid of what this could or could not be. She's afraid of the truth that lies beyond whatever she heard. She's just scared. So you're going to have to win your girl back. You're going to have to do something, but don't embarrass her because obviously she's already confused. So the brother was the voice of reason here. A few of the books I've read lately have siblings that have some sense, you know, and his brother definitely had some sense. So I enjoyed this. Towards the end, I was in the feels. I had all of the feelings. I mean, the love was there. Okay. The love was there. And even while he is begging and pleading, he's like, I've been blessed to have known you. The man said, I've been blessed to have known you. He was like, if this is the end, I am blessed to have known you. I gave it 5 stars. Like, I can't tell you nothing else about it. Next, we have Vegas Nights, the novella collection. I have completed all 3. The third one is Maybe One More Time. Whoa, wow. The story is between Blue and Nessa. Blue's real name is, Jordan? Brandon. Blue's real name is Brandon. Yeah. And Blue comes in hot. Blue comes in like he owns the place. Blue comes in like he's running everything. You don't go into somebody's place of business when they're about to lock up, number 1. Number 2, demanding products. Sir, you need to see us during business hours. You come in here, invade her personal space, you ask for her panties, and she gives them to you. But that's not the point. The point is you are intimidating us, okay? From chapter 1. By chapter 2, it's too much. There is a lot going on here. It gives plie vibes a little bit of plie vibes. It also gives a little bit of what else? Who is crazy like this? We have a little bit of possession in a way. The man does not articulate very well. He is all about the emotion and the heat. He is just, I don't know if it's because he is a biker boy, but he lays it on thick. The man, I'm paraphrasing. One of the scenes, he's in her personal space. First of all, just met you. You know my name. I don't really know you all that well, but yet you know me. Very weird. But okay. The fact that you invade my personal space and you're like, what's this? What's what? What is this I'm feeling? First of all, I don't know. I'm literally at work trying to figure out if I'm in danger or not. Yet you are filled with lust. And then we realize this is a man that has had a little crush on her for a while. She rides bikes, he rides bikes, It's like this whole motorcycle thing. And he has had his eye on her for quite some time. It also reminds me of Dominic and Sloan in Restore Me. It reminds me of the couple in Lay Your Head on My Pillow, because she is the crush, the muse, the girl that I can't get out of my head kind of thing. And it's like, if and when I get the chance to get her, oh, the things I would do. That is Blue Tanessa. That was the most intense in terms of like, we're strangers, we're almost enemies, and you are carrying on like we've had history. And that's how he was moving through the whole book, like, follow me. Boy, I don't know you. I'm on my way, but I don't know you. I'm on my way, but I don't know you. It was a good read. Then, because I'm reading this in tandem, I am listening to this as well as going through and annotating. So it almost feels like mindless reading because I'm retaining it, but when I'm reading it on my own with the physical copy, I think it's a different experience for a lot of reasons. I have my own voices that I expect the characters to have. So now that I'm listening to it and following along in the book, I have other voices, which, I mean, these are tolerable. This is what I have so far. I know you barely see any other colors, but I went through first and did all of my lists. This orangey red color is for all of the lists that she talks about in the book, because I saw that her journal is this reddish orange color. So I figured if she mentions a list, I will annotate it. So that's why there's so many of them. And I bookmark while I was listening so that I can get back in here and then annotate the rest. So far, excuse me while I ugly cry, it is rom-com, I believe, because I've chuckled a little bit. It is YA. So far, and I'm saying so far like I don't just have 3 chapters left, but with this book, and I have read how many YAs so far? Love Radio, Highly Suspicious, Unfairly Cute, Jackpot, Slay. I've read 4 YA novels prior to this one. And I think that what I have noticed is that depending on the writer or when the book was written, it might disrupt my reading experience, because Love Radio is referencing music from a time that was well before these kids were born, but they let us know that, you know, my parents love this music and I've grown to love it too, kind of thing. So we can let that slide. In Slay, it's a little bit more current for the kids, because it's like you have references to their present day, which makes sense. In Highly Suspicious, Unfairly Cute, I don't recall a lot of music references in that book, but I also felt like that book was dragging, so I wouldn't want to remember a lot of that book anyway. But in this one, there is a lot of 90s R&B for kids that are so far beyond the 90s. And I think that the music is a bit wrong, unless this book was written in the early 2000s and re-released. Like, if that's the case, fine. But for me, I can't see kids that are in high school. Let's see. This was copywritten 2021. You're not listening to Tyrese. You're not listening to SWV without your parents being home. Like, I just can't see it. A version of it, fine. But to be sitting at home, riding around in your car, listening to 90s R&B, I'm just not seeing it. So I would take off a little bit for that. I like it because that's a bit of me. But y'all are a little younger than I am. And by a little, I mean a lot. So I would think that you're listening to, like, what are y'all listening to? Maybe even Jasmine Sullivan. You could have given us a little Jasmine Sullivan. You could have given us a little bit of, what's the child's name? Victoria Monet? Is that her name? You could have given us a little bit of Coco Jones. You could have given us a little bit of, if you wanted the R&B vibes, you know what I mean? You could have even given us Sierra. But to take it all the way back, you're borderline listening to Drew Hill at this point, and y'all are way too young to be doing that on your own. Maybe I'm thinking too hard, but that element of it, I was just like, okay, we get it. They like R&B and they like the 90s R&B. Fine. But yeah, I'm enjoying this. This is quite entertaining. I can vividly see the scenes playing out. I like Olivia. I am somewhat enjoying the dynamic between Quinn and Carter, especially when they went to the club. I thought that was funny. That was kind of cool. Yeah, so I'm enjoying this. I'm going to finish this today. I'm also going to finish Midnight. I have, how many chapters? Maybe 3 or 4 chapters left in this. So that's what's going to happen today. And I also have videos to film. So I'm going to start setting up for my videos and check back in with you.